What's up guys, Sax here. Today I want to talk about something that I've talked about a lot recently. I have information in a lot of different places on my channel, but I want to pull everything together once and for all, and I want to discuss it right here and right now. How do I get the exotic mission weapons in the Edge of Fate? Full stop. How do I do it? Okay, so let's talk about the different sources. So the first thing I want to talk about is the port. So many people have been asking me, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation. I don't think people are doing it intentionally. I think it's just their own experiences and it gets muddied, whether it's on Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, comments, Twitter, anywhere that we're looking, okay? I have sifted through it all. I've gone through my comment section, and here's what I have done for you guys. I have gone into my comment section. I've asked people to join my Discord. I pulled them from Discord into the game, and we have ran the same mission that they were swearing up and down that there was no way they would get it. That this does not drop, I cannot get it, you can't get it in the game, it's bugged, all this stuff. And I've got it for every single one of them on the first try. Here's how I did it. If you load in, we'll say, let's say for our purposes here, you don't have Choir of One. So Choir of One comes from the Encore mission. So I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna choose that. Immediately, you can look and the game is gonna suggest to you, hey, this is what your power level, this is kind of like what you are ready for. Okay, so for me, I'm sitting here, my highest is about 310. So I'm in this weird middle place where I can't quite do Grandmaster difficulty content. However, because my level is above the master difficulty, it's gonna put me naturally at this B rank, but here is one of the keys. You've probably heard other content creators say this. You need to get this ranking on the right-hand side of your screen, this B ranking in the triangle, you need to get this into the B plus range. If I go on master difficulty and I put a plus 20, it brings me to that B plus range, but you may not wanna do Banes and stuff. So go in here, play with some of these positives and the negatives and play around with that. Now, here is the key that a lot of people miss. First off, you do not have to get this to an A rank. You can, and you can get different completion rewards at the bottom. You push it even further. The game says, oh, they're making it harder on themselves. You do that, you kind of keep an eye here in the top right. What you have to do is you have to be at that B plus rank, and you need to get the time bonus multiplier. So if we go back, we look at some of the modifiers that you can get from the overview here, you'll see that you get this 15% bonus score at the end of the activity for finishing before the timer expires. So what you want to do, especially if you're unfamiliar with the mission itself, you want to go in here, you want to select one of the options that seems viable to you. You say, hey, I know me, I know my fire team, I know what we're getting into. And we're going to utilize this B plus the 15% from the time bonus. That will push you into the A territory. That will guarantee that you get the exotic and a catalyst and intrinsics that you do not have. Now, let's talk about things that are a little different and things that I have tested, and I have full footage, full evidence on the channel. So please, 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 I've made it as easy as possible for you to get this information. So please just go on the channel, you can see this. So the first thing that is an issue that is known, the Kel's Fall mission is not giving the intrinsics 3 and 4 for the Slayer's Fang. I think the reason for this has to do with the fact that there were mechanics inside of the season that were implemented into the exotic mission, and those have not been implemented into the portal version of this mission. Meaning you can't go in there and interact with some of the various lanterns or pieces that anchors, I think they were, that you need to shoot with the Slayer's Fang shotgun. They do not exist anymore. The organ is in there, and you can play the organ and you can actually get a positive response from the organ, but you cannot shoot and you cannot loot the items that you needed to turn in at the end to get the intrinsics. So you're gonna end up with intrinsic 2, you're gonna end up getting all of the catalysts from repeat runs, and you'll get the gun. You will not get intrinsics 3 and 4. So that is the only mission that I know of, that I am aware of from all my testing, that is not working properly in giving all of the pieces out on subsequent runs. Starcross has been confirmed. You will get everything. You just keep running it. You will get everything you're missing. Over successful high score runs, you hit the bonus time, you will be good to go. Now, a lot of times when I break in and talk with people and they tell me, Sax, I can't get this, it's not dropping for me, I'll ask them a few questions. I'll ask them, is this the first time you're running it? Yeah, I didn't run it before this season. Okay. Are you running in a fire team or solo? Oh, I'm running solo. I don't have anyone to play with. Immediately my mind goes to the fact that they're probably running it a little slow. Okay, how long is it taking you? It took me a couple hours. Yep, there's our problem. Now, Don't ever make them feel bad, but just say, hey, we're gonna have to go back in there. We're gonna have to speed it up a little bit. I usually give them the link to my Discord. I'm gonna show that on my screen right now for you so that you can join the Discord if you would like to have people to play with. We have people, myself included, that every week help people through these exotic missions. However, if you're going too slow, you are not going to get it, okay? So you're gonna need to load into these various missions to see how fast you need to run them. You'll see Starcrossed, here it says 25 to 30 minutes. Kel's Fall, 25 to 30. Encore, 40 plus. The Whisper mission, 10 to 15. So these are going to be a variety. Even though they're different exotic missions, they should not take you as long. One other thing we have to talk about is the fact that Barrow Dyad is not available in the game right now. We have to wait until Bungie brings back the Derealized mission. But make sure you're subscribed because I will let you know as soon as they do. Let's move on from the Pinnacle side of things. And let's move over to the World tab. Now, this is probably an area that most people have forgotten about, and it looks like Bungie was even trying to. They've said they're working on resaturating this page right here. However, they haven't yet, and so it could be very easy to miss this. You want to go to the Legends tab. Now, if you see at the bottom here, we have 3 exotic missions. Now, these are here, again, the Legends tab. This is known as legacy content, which means that this content came out in the past and they placed it here. So this would be considered as a moment in time, kind of frozen in time. When we took on Crota, when we took on Oryx, when we took on Atheon, these are moments in time that we can go back and replay as almost like the best hits, like the greatest hits, right? That's the same idea for the Whisper mission in 0 Hour. These are fixtures of this screen right here. They will always be on the screen. They don't rotate off of this until Bungie changes it. These 2 missions will always be here. The reason for that is there are existing quests for both Whisper and 0 Hour that exist in the game. We have the Whisper mission, which comes from Eris on the moon. You go to the moon and you can interact with her. You can pick that up. And then there are some individual things that you can interact with inside the mission. However, you need to, if you want to do that quest, you can do that quest and you'll get the same exact rewards, but you would need to come to this version here. This version here on the Legends tab. Now, I've had a ton of people and I've been doing a ton of 0 Hour helps in my Discord and in my Twitch chat. We have to do that to get Outbreak perfected. You have to do that inside the 0 Hour selectable here inside the Legends tab. So you're going to use both the asset protection and then the follow-up 3 Outbreak refined missions. Just see those quests all the way till the completion. That's going to take you into what is known as the expert version of 0 Hour to get Outbreak, and that's going to put a time requirement on you. So it's going to make it more difficult because you have to move faster and you have to use a various path. So when we come in here for the 0 Hour mission, there are going to be some switches that you have to activate when you go in there in various places. There's going to be some different interactable pieces that kind of allow you to do puzzles. The things that are inside this Legends tab here, these activities have not changed. So if you find an old video and says how to do the Whisper puzzle, now you would want to look up a video that came out during Into the Light. So I would look up like the Whisper Into the Light guide or 0 Hour Into the Light guide. Finally, let's talk about the middle. Now there is a section down here that has Starcrossed. So this is perfect because this is a perfect example. This is a mission that for the last year has been in the rotation. So what it seems like is for this page right here, Bungie for the Edge of Fate did not adjust this page. So because they added Starcrossed and the other missions to that Pinnacle tab, there are unfortunate situations where there is very little benefit to these exotic missions down here. However, last week, the Avalon mission, which is for the Vexcalibur Void Exotic Glaive, that was down here. And at various times, you will have like the Seraph Shield mission. You will have the Presage mission. All of these will rotate here to the bottom. Starcrossed was in this rotation, and it seems that Bungie has kept this in the rotation. So this week, it's not as helpful, but what you want to look out for is you want to look for this as another option. So if you are missing all of the exotic mission exotics, the way you will get them is you will take advantage of this page here. You will use this for the Outbreak Perfected. If you don't want to do multiple runs of the Whisper mission, or if you would like to just see an exotic quest through its completion, you can get Whisper and all its intrinsics and all its catalysts through this method, selecting this option. And then each week you want to look for this mission here for the various exotics that are in here. So guys, I'm going to let this be the last video I make on the subject. Hopefully this is helpful for you. And if it was, please like and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. And if you need help with these missions, make sure that you come into the Discord. Join the Discord. Let us know in the LFG, hey, I'm looking to run this. I need these for the first time, and we'll get you help. And until next time, be blessed, y'all.